Battle of experience versus novice.
Welcome back to the channel. It's D-Day, nearly. Irish Drift Series, round 1, Mondello Park. I've all my spares loaded, tools, everything. Car's cleaned, ready to go. We're going to load up in the trailer now and get ready for a very early morning start in the morning. So we'll be leaving here around 6 a.m. To get up and get our tent set up and everything. And Dooley Fabrication is coming up with us. He's going servicing along with Keith Healy as well. So fair play to the boys. They're going to come with me servicing tomorrow, and they're going to be spotting for me as well. So hopefully the boys will keep a close eye on me and make sure that we nail all those clipping points on that layout. So it's going to be a really exciting weekend. Some amazing drivers have been announced in the last couple of days. The likes of James Dean, the world champion. He's going to come driving with us in his RX-7, and Kevin Quinn as well. From the north, Kevin is coming down as well. So there's 2 serious drivers, and it looks like we're going to be up against them. So hopefully if we qualify and we get through to the battles, you never know, we could meet one of them, and that could be totally amazing to drive with them guys. They definitely show me a thing or two, that's for sure. But look, if it does come, we'll try and put it on the door, and we might not get anywhere near them, but it's definitely worth a shot, and it's exciting as well to just get driving with them guys. We're always watching them on live stream, and James Dean out in FD and Europe, and same with Kevin Quinn out in Europe as well. We're always watching them, so to actually get the chance to drive with these guys is unbelievable. And the Irish Drift Series are the ones to pull this off as well. So well done to the guys at Irish Drift Series. It's going to be an epic day. Getting all the GoPro charged up now and hoping to get loads and loads of footage over this evening and all day tomorrow at the Irish Drift Series. So I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, here goes nothing. So today's the day we've all been waiting for. The first round of the Irish Drift Championship. Again, early morning. Usually I don't sleep before these events, but I actually had a good sleep last night, so I'm well rested. And just waiting for Keith to come over, Keith Healy. Keith's on his way over. He's going to come up with me, and Mark Dooley from Dooley Fabrication has the van loaded with all the spares, tools, everything. So he's going to join us as well. So I've the ultimate team with me today. Let's hope we can push hard and hopefully get qualifying and get through to the battles. There was an online briefing, so we've looked through that, and I've looked through it several times just to make sure exactly, I know exactly what the judges are looking for. So we have a line to follow, try and stick to it. Hopefully the car goes 100%. It's well tested now, so fingers crossed it does its job today. And yeah, just going to wait on Keith now, and then we are going to hit the road for an unbelievable day at the first round of the Irish Drift Series.
Hello. How hot is this thing? Low. Good. 36.9. You're good.
I'm hot. Pass the test, Keith.
It's the moment of truth. It's up there now. You know what, boys? You're reading over.
Am I?
Yeah, what I need you to do is, if you jump out, walk up there. It's the heat in the car. I've had it without sleeping. Walk up there, and I'll go meet you.
He's COVID-19, boys. Morning.
Name?
Who?
Name?
Name?
Who?
Who?
I'm Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Hi.
Welcome to the channel, Adam.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
We're finally here.
Keith's COVID-19.
Do you know the lads to go like 40 degrees because it's all like you went on the heater, it's full blast for 2 hours in the car, they're sweating, so you get it's like no, Yeah, so they have to stand outside, air themselves out. And away you go.
Right, are we good to go?
Yeah, you want to go.
Let's go
Come
skidding.
on, skidding.
So we're just here, first round, the Irish Drift Series. We have the car there with pressures all set and stuff like that. So Mark Dooley from Dooley Fabrication and Keith Healy is here. So they're just lads, they're giving me advice, and it's basically what I need. Because when I'm out on track, I think I may be doing good, but I may be making mistakes. So the lads are there to see exactly what's going on. So that advice from them is going to be key today in hopefully doing well. It's a series, there's over 80 drivers here in Mondello Park, and it's going to be a very, very tough battle. There is some big power cars here. Practice is first started now, so this is the first band and I'm out the second band. So we're going to go now, we're going to watch a bit of practice and see what's going on out there. So it's kind of good not being out first, so we get to see exactly how the track feels for lads and things like that. So yeah, we're going to watch a bit of practice now and see what lies ahead. So we're just back in from practice. Some issues with the steering on the front, it's just pushing on me a lot, so we've adjusted our pressures now, just done a little bit of work with the suspension as well. Car's going unbelievable, but just a little bit with the steering on the front, it seems to be washing out on me. So we've made our changes now, we're just waiting to go into qualifying, so let's go and do this.
Tentative. So Niall Garrity now gets off the line, his first time competing, and again, this car has been proven in the past.
It's a good enough car, definitely. Yeah, Harry Kerr.
Harry Kerr's old car.
Has won many events, podium many events, and drove very well in this car. And now Niall, seems to be doing a decent job. Got caught, I think, on the curve there on the way in again, but yeah, not doing a bad job here so far. And yeah, Niall is making a mistake again into the last corner, getting caught, and yeah, not the run I think Niall was hoping for. Started it was decent enough, got caught in the first corner, but
yeah, again, got to remember,
made
Tony
some mistakes through.
bought this car in advance of the season, and he's done massive work on it. He's done a few track days in it, a bit of practice time and seat time in that car, but again, competition, a completely new kettle of fish,
definitely.
and very new for Niall Garrity. Score comes in though, a 69, Connor, not bad. Sees him at the 28th position. Feel he's going to have to improve on that as things progress.
So we're just through qualifying, without my first run and put a 69 on the board. Once all the drivers were through, it meant I was sitting in 35th position. So in fairness to the guys on the radio, they says to me it was all or nothing. So
Bases, it'll hurt him when it comes to the battles. Now Niall Garrity leaves the line. Nervous run for him now, as a 69 isn't enough to have him inside that top 32. He needs to find something big here for competition if he's going to keep his hopes of battle action alive.
Yeah, Niall seems to do a better job here, but is it enough is the question. He's playing it very safe. He's consistently on the line, but
yeah, he just seems to be,
bits
caught
into them
between
places,
perfect
yeah.
and, making those mistakes. And, visually it looks good, but is it enough? And, it's a solid run, but is it solid enough to get into the competition? I think it's going to be close, Connor.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight to see if he gets in there. He scores a 79, which, bags him 25th position, so there's a high chance
What a
he'll get in
result
there,
for Niall Garrity.
What
a result. I think he will be ecstatic with that.
Niall will be a guy who's will be over the moon to get into the top 32. He's
A lot of hard work to get to this
definitely.
point.
He's
And
a very nice guy as well.
Yeah, he will get his battle reward. Now,
in 25th position now with a 79.5, which is unbelievable for my first time in competition. So just waiting to hear now who we're going up against in the battles, but getting through qualifying was absolutely unbelievable. Going to go out in the top 32, drive as hard as I can, and let's see what we can do. It's absolutely crazy.
battle of experience versus novice. It is Dan Moorhead to take on Niall Garrity. Niall Garrity up against it here, but he showed that he has what it takes to get himself into the competition this afternoon. But surely an underdog against Dan Moorhead, Conor.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to experience, I know you're looking at Dan as the favourite here, but anything could happen. And look at this, Niall, not afraid of him at all, but gets caught and makes a mistake. And Dan is looking strong out front here, and Dan seems to have good pace in his car as well, and he seems to be working, quite well with it. And I actually had a chance to grab a word with Dan while we were on lunch there, and he said that he's feeling confident in the car. And you know what? At the same time, Niall not doing a whole pile wrong there for you know, his first chase run in competitive driving.
Yeah, looking very comfortable out on track, and again, you know, for your first event to manage to get through a battle like that is, you know, a lot in itself.
Yeah,
Not
you can
the-
see there in the replay where he came a bit close, he kind of panicked and came off, and to be honest, he would have been better off if he just stayed in and even did touch his bumper and tried to get back on him on the transition, but not doing a whole pile wrong, didn't come off crazy off his line anywhere, but yeah, Dan was strong up front, so I think maybe this is hanging in the balance of Dan.
Yeah, it's probably a very difficult aspect to I suppose, to grasp and to learn, is sometimes when and when not to come off power, and sometimes just as you come off power to try and avoid an impact, it could be the exact moment when your competitor is going back on power and pulling away. So judging that will be, I assume, obviously very important for these guys. If they can, you know, get it early on, it's going to increase their chances of progressing in competitions. So we switched them around for the second half of this battle. You know, not the perfect run there from Dan Moorhead either, Conor. I think is, you know, a couple of clips where he could have been deeper. No major mistakes, mind you, but I think certainly leaving something for Niall Geraghty to go at here.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It wasn't the best performance from Dan out front, and yeah, you know, I think we're going to get a look at the replay of this run as well. So
I think what we will have though in the second half of this one is the experience of Dan Moorhead in the chase position. I think the judges perhaps maybe wanted to look at the entry
this
here.
first transition, I think, and you can see Dan is. It's kind of, I think I might know what the judges are questionable here, and Dan's line through the first corner was maybe a bit wide, and Niall wasn't expecting him to be that far across the track. At the same time, I could be wrong, I'm not 100% sure, but from, you know, looking at that replay, if there is a reason why they're looking at it, maybe that they're looking at Dan's line through the first corner.
Yeah, and could it be that maybe Dan was slowing the car for too long a period there to try and stop himself from going off track, which then may have affected the line of Niall Geraghty. Again, we're only speculating at this moment.
They must have their decision made, because I think we're going to move on to the second
We're
round.
going, back to the start line. Yes, we get the thumbs up to say they have made their decision. They know what's going on. But yeah, the experience of Dan Moorhead now in the chase position could weigh through now. And can Niall Geraghty hold his nerve out in that lead position? That's going to be all important as well.
Yeah, look at this, and Niall Geraghty's got up. He's after pulling a bit of a gaff from Dan Moorhead here, and I think Dan is maybe playing this safe.
Yeah, perhaps playing it safe, and maybe he needs to attack.
Yeah, right now.
And Niall
Maybe a bit
Geraghty
too
putting
safe.
foot to floor. That's a fast car, that BMW, and Dan Moorhead, you know, struggling to find a way back into this one. Could Niall
is a strong
Geraghty be winning his
ride as
first
well.
ever competitive battle and taking down veteran Dan Moorhead? Dan finally comes back, but I'm not sure if it's enough. Depending on what way the judges see that first run, this
yeah,
could be an interesting.
I think it's going to come back down to that, and you know, it's an interesting one. I'm not sure. I think the judges are going to maybe have a look at the replay. This run, they're going to decide.
Calling for another replay there, Conor.
But yeah, I think Dan was maybe a caught for the pace there a bit. I think he left him off the start line, was a bit unsure of what to expect, and I think Niall was quick. We know that car is fast. You know, Harry has been a championship contender in that car on the same tyres and stuff or whatever. So yeah, you know, I think it's an interesting one. Depending on the first run, if the judges, whatever way they go with it, they could be hanging definitely in the balance after the second run, 100%.
Yeah, so we can see them in the corner of our eye, all just focused on the screen, awaiting that replay, and a nervous time for Dan Moorhead, not where he'd want to be. You know, obviously a lot of nerves coming into it, of strong performance in qualifying in fifth, coming up against an inexperienced competitor in Niall Geraghty. But Niall Geraghty
Had a strong leader out front as well, didn't he?
had a very strong lead run, and you know what?
You know,
He's
not
going to be
great.
sitting there on that line going, hang on a second, if the judges haven't given a decision yet, that means they're talking about it. That means I'm in with a shout here.
Yeah.
And could I be about to go into the top 16 to take on either Kevin Quinn or Charlie Geary? I mean, this is a big moment here for Niall Geraghty.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe the one thing I could pick for that leader was a little correction before the last transition, but nothing major other than that. Yeah, quite a strong leader from Niall. Judges are still deliberating this one, so obviously there's some points they need to talk about, and it's not as clear cut as maybe people think or what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, so they'll all see it their own way. They'll discuss, deliberate a bit of back and forth in relation to it. Could we see, Conor, our first one more time?
Yeah, could be a high chance of that maybe.
So you can see Mike Fitzgerald
Explaining something,
explaining something to the other judges, but it looks as though they are going to a decision. So still arguing over this one are the judges. We're starting to see some heads get nodded. Does that mean we're getting a decision on it? So it looks as though we are going to go to the judges to get a decision. First up, Kieran Hines. Kieran, a lot of deliberation about this one. Who's getting your call?
Yeah, there was a lot of errors from both on both runs, so it's very, very close. So we want to see them go one more time.
And that's a unanimous decision across the board, is it? From all three judges. Okay, so we're going to see them one more time. They are going to go back to the start line, and Niall Garrity gets a second crack of the whip here, and Dan Moorhead a moment to just, I suppose, reassess and figure out what was going wrong with himself.
Yeah, definitely. I think Dan is quite an experienced driver, so he probably should.
Very quickly, Kieran, just talk us through it. You discussed it for a lot. There was an error there, or there was problems on the first run. What were you guys discussing?
Okay, we'll say with Dan's run in the lead position when he was leading, he makes a little error on entry, shallows these angles small, but and washes a bit off of clip 2. Now we were looking to see if it affected the chase car, but the chase car was not close enough to be affected by it, so he made an error as well in the chase position. And from there on, it was not really any very much proximity. And then when we swapped them around, the lead driver, he's running with practically no angle. He's got very, very little angle, so it's very difficult to get proximity when someone's running so shallow. But he was still on a very slight advantage because of the separation until we get into clip 7, the second last clip, and he has a straight one coming down the hill. So that brought it back to a 5-5. So it's just one more time.
So one more time, and we are about to see that one more time straight away. The advantage here, Conor, of not having semi-slick tyres. These guys have enough grip here to go straight back into it. Dan Moorhead in that lead position. Can he correct his ways this time around? He'll be gunning for it. He won't want to be taken out of the competition at this stage. Garrity, though, now has had more time to think, but it comes attacking, and they almost make contact.
Yeah, definitely almost the same mistake there again, and yeah, very similar to the first run. Dan came in very hot there again, and Niall was on his heels again, but yeah, Dan's doing a good job of it this time, and Niall's thereabouts, but you know, as what the judges are looking at with Niall's angle, it's very interesting, but not bad proximity from Niall Garrity. You know, he's driving well for his first event.
I gotta say, taken to it like a duck to water here, Conor. I mean, this is really impressive for a guy who's got, you know, relatively minimal experience. He's done a few practice days, but you know, to jump in at this level and come up against someone like the caliber of Dan Moorhead and not look, you know, out of place, well, that's an achievement in itself. And he is in the fight here. I mean, he's given Dan Moorhead a run for his money, and he's given him something to think about each time they go back to that start line.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Dan is going to have the thinking cap on here going back to the starting line. He knows the last time that, you know, what he done wasn't good enough to win the battle, so he's definitely going to have to, you know, make a decision to go a bit closer, in my opinion. I think that's what he needs to do, so hopefully we can see you know, that beautiful skyline of Dan Moorhead is glued to the BMW of Niall Garrity's.
Well, that's exactly it. That's what we want to see. We want to see close and competitive chase driving, and you know, we're yet to see some proper door-on-door action just yet, but we are only a few battles into the top 32. We may have an opportunity to see it this time. I think Dan has to go caution to the wind here, and in that chase position, leave nothing to chance. Garrity to lead in. Moorhead one more time. We will have a decision after this run. Someone's going through to the top 16. Who's it going to be, though, as Garrity leads it in? Tidy line from Garrity as Dan Moorhead now keeps a safe distance through the S's, but will he mount the attack as they come into the faster section of the circuit? Again, Garrity just has that pace, and Dan Moorhead just can't seem to match it. He's close, but he's not able to get on the door.
Yeah, Dan is not having the proximity here, but another thing I'm looking at is Niall is, you know, not maybe the widest on the places on the lead run out front, and another thing is the judges about, you know, arguing his angle as well, but you know, there's not a whole pile he can do. The car is grippy and it's underpowered, so he's trying to drive at what he has, and Dan was left a bit back there again, but a bit better than the first run, so it's going to be interesting to see. I did notice Niall making a couple of mistakes on his chase run, so it's going to be interesting to see what way they swing this one.
Well, we do swing it back to the judges to get their decision on the battle that went one more time. Quickly over to Mike Fitzgerald. Mike, thumbs up. Who's going through to the top 16? A tough one.
My vote is with Dan Moorhead.
One vote for Dan Moorhead. We go
my vote is
Jack
also
Shannon.
with Dan Moorhead.
Jack Shannon also goes with Dan Moorhead. Dan Moorhead moves on to the top 16. Quickly, Mike, very briefly, obviously we heard about the first run. The second run, though, a little bit more clear-cut in the favour of Dan Moorhead.
Yeah, slightly more clear-cut. Just on the first one, Niall had it, like Kieran said, up. He probably just had it up to the straight and at the end, so in the second one, then turned it around. He had a big entry, an aggressive lead. In the chase position, Niall just had a lack of angle, and he had to straighten again before just before the final corner. So that gave Dan quite an advantage. Not a huge advantage, but like a 6-4 in old money on the first one. Now on the second one, Dan had a good proximity. He didn't overcommit again. He just had nice proximity, mirrored the lead driver. Now Niall had no errors, but again, not massive angle. And
so that's us done for the first round of the Irish Drift Series. What an amazing event. Managed to qualify in 25th place. After my first run, I only managed 69.1, and it wasn't enough to get me into the battles. So the boys pushed me even harder, and I went and I put in a 79.5 run. So that got me into the battles in 25th position. We went up against Dan Moorhead in the top 32. A driver that has been driving for years and years, and actually drove unbelievable and so well that the judges could not decide and sent us to a one more time. So I was absolutely chuffed about that. We went to one more time, but we just didn't have it to get through. It was very, very close, but still my first ever event in the M3, and to come out with that result today, I'm very, very happy.